Hey guys, welcome back to the first episode of 2024. I know it's been a while, but I've had some stuff going on around here at the moment, and it is good to be back. Great to be starting off the year with a fantastic story. Brisbane Woolworths has been vandalised by some people call them heroes, some people call them vandals, or whatever you want to call them. But I think that these are just people who have had enough and are finally speaking out and maybe not in the right way, but they are saying their piece, and they'll pay the consequences for the way they've done that. But we'll get into it straight away here on ABC. A story from ABC. Now, ABC is obviously very biased against these people, and obviously very biased for Woolworths, protecting a massive multi-billion-dollar company that is stealing from Australians and basically raking us over the coals with every dollar we spend there. And it just goes to show that no matter how big the company, no matter how many billions of dollars they make a year, that the left and anyone on the left will promote them if they support the right thing. Now, if they're not supporting the right thing, like someone like Elon Musk, even though he used to be on their bandwagon, or they used to be on his bandwagon with the whole electric cars and environmental sustainability and things like that, because he has an opinion, because he has a voice, he is now on the outskirts. But places like Woolworths are towing the line, and they are promoting their agenda, the agenda that the left likes to push, like this Cancel Australia Day agenda that has caused this incident in particular. Now, whether it's completely about that, or whether it's about them price hiking everything and scalping money off of locals and farmers, and basically just screwing over the Australian public, there, people who the people who support them, they don't care about you. They don't care about their customers. They only care about their profits, and they will do whatever they need to do to increase their profits. So if we do actually stand behind people calling for a boycott, you don't have to stand with people like Peter Dutton. I think Peter Dutton's a bit of a moron anyway. Vote for LNP and Labor and all that. They're all the same people. At the end of the day, I think we need something new. Politicians are all basically cut from the same cloth. I don't really care for what any of them have to say, but if we promote this boycott and stick by it, and it actually hurts Woolworths in the hip pocket, kind of like Budweiser after the Dylan Mulvaney incident, they might change their tune. They might come back into the fold and start supporting everyday Aussies. I don't think that'd be the case with Woolworths, Coles, or anyone like that, because they're a little too big to fail, and the everyday Aussie doesn't care about things like this. They don't care about the culture war. But that's why you're here, because you do. You're interested. You know what's going on around you. You have a stake in the matter, and you have a stake in the matter with your kids, whether it's your family you're protecting, or you just want to be more aware of what's going on around you. I'm glad you're here. Now let's get into this story from the ABC. Brisbane Woolworths store vandalised with graffiti amid Australia Day merchandise controversy. A Brisbane Woolworths store has been vandalised after the supermarket's chain decision to stop selling specific Australia Day merchandise. The Woolworths Metro in Tenerife store and commercial road was closed on Monday after it was spray painted with profanities, and a flare was placed under the door, triggering a fire alarm. Police were called to the store around 5 a.m, and the 3 Queensland fire and emergency service crews attended the scene. Now you can see a bit of the graffiti there. They're acting like they have burnt down this store and killed 1 million people. The amount of people on Twitter that have, let's just say they've got flags in their bio and pronouns, carrying on about Paul Woolworths has sustained this attack, and they're just not going to be able to cope because Peter Dutton is fueling the fires and flames of division in the Australian community, when actually it's people like them on Twitter complaining that poor billion-dollar company had some mischief happen to them, and they're suffering greatly, obviously. Woolworths, how will they recover after this? We'll never know. The graffiti written on the exterior of the supermarket store read 5 days, 26th of January, Aussie, oi, 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 Woolworths, F you, and the words boycott Woolies were spray painted on the entrance doors. Well, they took a while to spray paint all that. And, yeah, well, hats off to them. I don't think they misspelled anything. A crime scene has been declared, and the Queensland Police have called for public assistance after releasing CCTV of the incident. You can see that there. Just saying, I don't think I've ever seen a Woolies that Oh, it's Metro Woolies, I suppose. I mean, like, it must be like a yuppie part of Brizzy, where all those people like their barista made coffee in Woolworths. Yeah, because you go to Woolworths for a coffee, a barista made coffee. They're probably just upset they couldn't go and get their chai latte there in the morning or their soy fucking milk, and that's why they're complaining about these people doing this on Twitter. The graffiti, in a statement, the Woolworths Group spokesman said, thankfully no team members or customers were injured in this as this occurred before the store opened. I can guarantee you a lot of those people who went to work that day were happy that it happened because they didn't have to do a full day's work, and a lot of them probably got paid for a full day's work. We're grateful to the police and the fire brigade who attend. There is no reason for vandalism. We'll continue to liaise with the Queensland Police, the statement said. Residents, oh look, it's coming off with a gurney, so I think they'll recover. Old mate there's even got a day's work out of it. Residents of the apartment above the building said they were evacuated early hours in this morning. Around 4:40 a.m. in the morning, the alarm went off and all were out and about downstairs. 2 fire engines lasted about half an hour, and I think they realised it was the Woolworths here on the corner, and we were sent back up. A resident told ABC News on Monday morning. The poor Woolworths in Tenerife. The incident follows Woolworths Group announcement last week confirming their stores would not stock specific Australia Day merchandise, and explaining the decision, the company said there had been gradual decline in demand for the merchandise in recent years, which we know is a lie because I don't really know about anyone going to Woolworths and buying Australia Day merchandise. I mean, people carry on, oh, it's made in China and blah, blah, blah. Who cares? It's the fact that they're actively campaigning and sending their money and spending their money against what the views of everyday Australians are. They are promoting this WEF World Forum agenda. They are pushing for things like The Voice, how much money they put into the Voice vote. These people pick a side of the left in this case, and then they complain when someone who opposes their views says something about them or does something as violent, and I wouldn't say violent, but I suppose it could have been if the building had caught fire, violent as this. And they actively try to condemn people attacking them for their views. But if you hold the view that Australia Day should be the 26th, and we should all support Australians and promote Australia Day as like one nation, and we're all here together like just about everyone I know does. I don't know really anyone in real life anyway, besides on X and places like that don't want Australia Day to be left alone and where it is. Same with Anzac Day, things like that. And then if we promote that and we say we're for that, they attack us. But if we attack them back about trying to call us racist and call us bigoted and idiots or whatever you want to call them. The amount of names have been called on Twitter in the last couple of days, or X, is astounding. But water off a duck's back. Anyway, it's interesting to see. As soon as we retaliate in any which way, or anyone on our side does, all hell breaks loose. The media grabs a hold of it, like this here, ABC, and they use it as a bludgeoning tool to beat people into submission and say, look, this is what these right-wing extremists, or in America it'd be MAGA cultists or whatever it is, are doing, and they are a threat to our democracy and a threat to our way of life, when actually Woolworths and places like that and companies like that are a threat to the Australian democracy and Australian way of life. They are undermining everything we stand for. They are dividing the people between black and white, gay and straight, religious, non-religious, you name it. Wherever there's a division, they will be jamming a wedge in there and trying to force that division wide open to the point of conflict. Now, this is where it's come to. This point has become a point of conflict for these people who did this, and I don't blame them. It's pretty disheartening that every day we go out and we support our country, we build this country into a better place, we promote the things that we do, and we generally help other people. Australians are known for helping other countries and helping other people, and being a calmer head in the world stage. If there's an issue, Australia's there, and whatever little help we can do, we're there to help. And places like Woolworths are trying to make us sound like that we're all racists, that we're bigots, and that we're anti-Semitic, wherever they want to go, even though they like promoting this pro-Palestine thing and calling for the death of Jews between to the river and the sea, things like that. They promote those kind of things. But then as soon as someone comes out on the right-hand side of any of the arguments and says something mildly violent or mildly abrupt even, they call them Nazis or literally been called Nazis in the last 10 minutes on X. It's entertaining to see. This is it says here it has been a gradual decline in demand for the merchandise. That's completely false. I guarantee you they have just been winding it down, pretending that they are just not making the cut with the money. They're just not going to make money out of it. They don't mind wasting money on The Voice, but they wouldn't want to waste money on some Australia Day merchandise. Isn't that interesting? It just shows you where their standards are on the matter. The announcement prompted federal opposition leader Peter Dutton to call for Australians to boycott Woolworths over this decision not to sell the products. Notice how he said to boycott Woolworths. He didn't say go and firebomb and spray paint Woolworths. The state opposition leader David Crisafilli said that no business should be targeted by vandals. I have heard it's directly linked. I haven't heard if it's directly linked. If it is, that's poor form, and other people in the country like Australia should be able to conduct their business without vigilantes, he said. But Mr. Christopher said that he felt that the supermarket giant made a mistake by stopping the sale of Australia Day specific merchandise. Mr. Dutton's office has also been contacted for comment. So he might have even made a comment there, but the ABC just chose not to share it because maybe it was just a good comment and they couldn't shine a bad light on him or something. But Woolworths will recover. I'm sure they are actually taking a bit of a hit at the moment on the stock market. Their stocks have fallen. But whether that's got to do with their recent outing themselves as anti-Australian, which we've known for a while now. And the last few years, this argument comes up every year. People saying that we need to change the date, people saying it's Invasion Day and it's racist. None of these people are actually based in any form or even in the room with any facts, but they just go and call you a bigot, a racist, and even homophobic and things like that just for saying that Australia Day should be on the 26th, which is kind of hilarious if you ask me. But what do you guys think anyway? Do you think Woolworths is going to suffer at the hands of a boycott? I truly hope so, because I know that I am not shopping at Woolworths. I have not shopped at Woolworths in a while, but I will go out of my way to make sure I do not shop at a Woolworths, whether it's at their Bottle-O, they own a lot of pubs and clubs in town. They own, I think it's like 70% or something, some massive amount of pubs, clubs and Bottle-Os in Australia. I think that every dollar we spend in Australia, 30 cents, at least 30 cents of that ends up in the hands of Woolworths and Coles. This massive duopoly that they have going here in Australia is strangling any competition. They literally go and buy blocks of land and then leave them barren so no other supermarket chain can come in and build there and possibly compete with them. They are killing this country bit by bit, dollar by dollar, and the Australian people, some of them, have had enough. Now, if you're watching this show, if you're watching any commentators like me or anyone like that on YouTube and places like Rumble and that, where we hang out, where we're allowed to have an opinion, YouTube's getting harder and harder to have an opinion. X, places like that are great, but if you watch that, you're obviously clued on, you're switching on what's going on. But a lot of everyday people do not understand this culture war that is going on. They do not understand the amount of propaganda that is being pushed upon them and their loved ones and kids through TV, Netflix, Amazon Prime, things like that. I was watching 5-10 minutes of a show that my wife was watching, and every time I see something, it's always propaganda. She's watching the show at the moment. It's based in a hospital. It's everything about it's propaganda. They have a dwarf doctor. They have a gay, non-binary, black lesbian doctor. Who knows? It's an episode I was watching just the other day that with her whilst having dinner. They have a mute doctor who has to sign language, and she can't talk, but she's apparently a surgeon and is conducting surgery on a person, and they just happen to have someone with her who can talk for her all the time. It's just woke nonsense, but little things like that aren't too bad, but it's just the sheer volume of it, the sheer volume of people telling you that you support Australia, that you're a racist, you're a bigot, blah, 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 it's Invasion Day. Enough people are just going to get sick of that, and some people are going to lash out. These people lashed out, and I think, honestly, probably not the best way to do it, but I really don't care for Woolworths. If someone went and burnt down one of their stores, I wouldn't be too broken up about it. I'm sure Woolworths wouldn't be too broken up about it. It'd be a terrible thing to do, and people shouldn't do things like that. But they're not going to suffer a lot at the hip pocket. I mean, you don't want to hurt anyone. That's the major thing. Woolworths, honestly, boycott them is the best bet. If we could boycott Woolworths, go outside and protest at the front of Woolworths and Coles as well, even Coles. That'd be the best bet. But everyday people need to wake up and smell the shit on their boots, because they are promoting this just by even shopping there. They are promoting this anti-Australian agenda. They're promoting this World Economic Forum agenda, where they just want us to be all some sort of mass migration destination here in Australia. It's not fair on the Australian people who have worked hard and built up this country, immigrants included. Australia is an immigrant country. We were all forcibly dragged here in balls and chains, and shoved ashore with nothing to do but turn this country into what it is now. And these people are trying to destroy it, and they're trying to divide it, whether it's through The Voice, whether it's through things like this, not supporting Australia Day. But I know what I will be doing on Australia Day. I will be getting absolutely shit-faced on Australian-made beer, Australian-made rum, and I will be supporting Australia, and I will be doing what's right for Australia, and getting hammered on Australia Day, because let's face it, that's how we celebrate. Now, do not go and shop at Woolworths. Do not go and shop at Coles. You really look into what companies and what their views are at this point in time, because if there is a company out there that is actively trying to take your money from you and take your rights and freedoms away from you, why would you want to go out there and help that company in any which way? And it's very hard. I mean, with the boycott for, say, Bud Light there in the US, that was hard because Anheuser-Busch, who owns Bud Light, owns a lot of other beers. But it's not hard to go and change a beer. It's not hard to go and change where you shop. So we went shopping at a local IGA the other day. $450 for a fortnightly grocery shop was actually under budget for us, which was good. Cheaper, local produce. I'm not a fan of that local IGA anyway. I have other issues with them, but it's cheaper and it's local produce. I'd rather go to a fruit stall that work down on the corner and buy from them. At least they're Australians and they're locals and they're growing it, and all the money goes straight back into the community. Not like Woolworths, where it goes into their coffers and is never seen again, only to increase their profits, and which those profits are then used to take away our rights, take away our freedoms, and tell us that we're racist, bigoted, and all sorts of other things. Now, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that more people should be standing up against Woolworths, boycotting them? I know I'll be boycotting. Will you be joining the boycott? Service stations, bottle-os, pubs, clubs, shopping centres, things like that, all of them must be boycotted, and hopefully they will come to see the light. But I highly doubt it. What do you guys think anyway? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.